This week we're sharing the van items that we love and we loathe,
to give you some inspiration and a few warnings for your own van adventures. Our ceiling is one of our favourite things about the van. We couldn't get black screws, so we individually painted each of those screws black afterwards. It's, yeah, really secure up there and we love it. One of the reasons that we love it is because, I mean, just aesthetically it looks really nice and it just makes the van feel super, super cosy. But also we love it because of the way that it fits our LED lights. With like traditional cladding, there isn't the depth between the battens to put that kind of strip lighting in, and quite often people end up drilling circles and putting, like, you know, the circular spotlights in, and just aesthetically we didn't really want to do that, so this worked perfectly for us. And we've got one set which is the really bright lights that's basically just on off, and then we have another set that is our Govee LED lights that are controlled by an app on our phone. So these lights are controlled by a switch which is down here. So these, we've got this app and I can just switch that on and they turn on.
Change your colours.
So it's quite funky. You can change all of these settings. So if we want to have blue lights, I'm really like purple. I think purple's a vibe. Green.
This is like if we're in some sort of like under the sea grotto.
You can click scene and it does all these different things. You can have sunset, lightning, universe. Oh, let's do universe. And I think that they change. Aurora. Ooh. Rainbow! Rainbow! Alright, so yeah, they're really cool. It's, you know, a little quirk for the van. It is annoying having to go onto the app and load the app, which can be a bit slow. It would be much better if we could just have a switch that turned them on and it just turned on the last setting that we had on the app, and then if we want to go and change the colour, we can go on the app then and change the colour. That would be the most ideal situation. So you might notice that I can't stand up straight in this van. Yeah, this is a big one for us. So 2 years of bending, squatting, crouching, bending our spines in awkward positions. So we are currently saving for a new van to convert, a bigger van, one that we can stand up in. And we are so excited to start that project. So stay tuned, because those videos are coming.
I want to say, just to be really, really clear, we never loved this part of the van. But there are reasons for getting a low roof van. This van cost us about £3,000. The idea was also that it was going to fit under loads of different height barriers, which technically actually doesn't work because we've also got the solar panels and a lot of height barriers. They're at 2.1 metres, which is basically the exact height of our van. So we haven't actually gained any freedom there. So basically it's just a lose-lose situation with this low roof for us at the moment.
It really puts us off doing things like cooking and doing the dishes.
Yeah, because you have to show them the squat pose.
This is the only way, like, basically you can make it into a workout, but then when you're working the quads, you're also kind of like hunched at the same time, and you start like, it's just, there's no way around it. There's no way. Unless you're like 5 foot. Wait, how? Yeah, you'd have to be 5 foot? I don't understand feet.
I don't understand feet either. I understand centimetres.
You'd have to be 155 to be able to stand up, and that's because the addition of this gorgeous ceiling, but also the insulation and the floor. So when you're looking at interior dimensions, just really keep that in mind, that that can shrink.
This is a 42 litre Alpicool top loading fridge. A good feature of these top loading fridges is how much you can fit in them. A problem with these top loading fridges is that if it is full, which quite often ours is, if you want to get something that's round the corner here or right at the bottom, you have to take everything out and then put everything back in to get what you need. And when you're doing that day to day, living in the van, it gets a bit tedious. So in the next van, we would just like to have a regular front door opening fridge with the shelves inside, probably a bit bigger than this one so we can carry more food for longer adventures. So if you have any recommendations of good fridges, please let us know in the comments. We have got our eye on I think it's a Dometic 90 litre fridge, so it's quite like tall and slim, but if there are other options that are cheaper, as Dometic's quite an expensive brand and, you know, do the job just the same, then Honestly, we would really appreciate your input, guys. Sometimes we have problems with this fridge when it's really full because the cooling element is under this section here. So if you've got all your food crammed in, the temperature doesn't regulate the same around the whole fridge. So you find that things that are kind of in this area and here won't get as cold, which is a bit annoying, especially when you're wanting to like cool down drinks and things. Alright, so that leads us on to the next thing, which is how this enormous drawer is held in place, and that is with an electromagnet. And that has just got a switch on the side here that engages the magnet, and then that is like solid.
The only time where that fails is if we've forgotten to flick the switch. That's the only time. Apart from one time when it flipped. But I think that was installer error rather than product error.
Agreed. We love this electromagnet on the fridge drawer. It's the only drawer that has got one. So in the next van, we would love to have electromagnets on every drawer. We recently saw someone who had done a video where they've got electromagnets on every single drawer and they engage when you turn the engine on. On to the next one, which is a big loathe. And that is these drawer runners. The amount of times that these drawer runners have broken. I think what it is that the mechanism that holds the runners to the drawers is just really brittle plastic. And there's loads of variations of these drawer runners that you can get now. And, you know, they're nice, like they're soft close, like, woo! Soft close drawers. Wouldn't do it again. They've just been way too much hassle. And we honestly would be quite happy with the kind of drawer runners where you just do 2 battens on the sides and then a batten on the drawers and you just slot it in and it's just wood on wood. Perhaps these types of runners make sense for the bigger drawers. I don't know. These runners make it a whole lot more complicated than it actually needs to be, because there needs to be like an indent underneath the drawer for the kind of plastic mechanism to sit in, and then the back of the drawer you have to put holes in it for the runners to slot into.
I just want to say I don't feel as passionately about the drawer runners, but that's probably because I wasn't involved in the construction and attaching of the drawers and the runners. I have less trauma about this and I actually quite like the soft close aspect of them.
They're actually quite good in the way that you can quickly detach the drawer from the runner. The reason that I'm using this particular drawer is because it is the one drawer that doesn't have problems.
I just want to say, like, so far she's selling these drawers, isn't she? Like, they're actually coming across quite well. Clickety-click. Like, that's so good. Okay, whoa, you're going to smash them. It's okay, fine. Well, that's what happened. Yeah, but it's alright, sweetie. It's alright. All we have to do is come in and out. I'm stressed. Yeah, look, it's not on now. Alright.
This is what happened.
Yeah, but you know, it's going to break every time you smash them. What did you just say? I said, I think you proved your point because I can't get it back on. Let's just leave it like that. Maybe if the two of us were doing it, it would be less stressful. I don't know. I'm just saying maybe let's not rule it out because of your trauma. You know?
I love you. The next one is something that, like, I think I would marry this thing. Sorry, Angela.
What is it?
It's a little tiny, wonderful thing. This window wiper. This is one of the best things that we ever bought for the van. Condensation in the van on the insides of the windows is only really a problem in winter.
And autumn. And spring.
Spring, autumn, winter. When we wake up in this van in the morning, the windows are wet. Soaking wet. So wet that we fill up one of these every single morning. This thing has just been absolutely amazing and we love it. And it's saved our van from becoming mouldy. Everything's mould free in here apart from one thing. If you live in a van, if you go away in a van, if you don't have one of these electric window wipers, get one.
I just want to put it out there that get one even if you don't have a van. Because they're actually really good for the shower and windows with condensation in a house too. They're just amazing.
Show us what was mouldy.
Okay, this is a loathe, right? Guys, our cab roof is really mouldy. I can't actually believe that we're showing you this because yeah, it's really quite gross. This is one of the areas that we didn't take this off. We didn't vapor seal underneath it there. It obviously gets very damp in this space, and with each winter that passes, it gets worse. It's getting to a point now where we don't think that we can leave it for much longer. So the plan is to take this cab cover thing off, to vapor seal underneath it, and then to just recarp it to whatever curves are under there, and then hopefully it will stop the mould. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Another thing that we love is the dry goods shelf. There's so many reasons to love this shelf, apart from the fact that we can see every single thing that we have in our dry goods store, our open air pantry, if you will. But it's also a huge space saver. We didn't need to put any doors or lock mechanisms for this thing, and these are really lightweight plastic containers as well, so it's actually quite a lightweight solution for storage as well. Another thing is it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful shelf. It's the first thing that Danny and I made together, so of course it's a product of love. The reason it doesn't fly out while we're driving is because of this beautiful thing, elastic. In any other situation, I would not love elastic. In the van, I adore elastic. It's such an excellent solution. This is the dark, dirty corner of our van that we don't like to talk about, and it would be a lot more practical and well functioning if we could actually get behind there. It's kind of just become this thing that we've accepted it for who it is. It's an awful tangle of messy wires, and that's like who it wants to be. That's just how it is. We do hate it, but we also haven't got the energy to solve it. I mean, if you've got any clever ideas on how we can deal with unnecessary lengths of wire for our Starlink in a very tight and cramped space, then let us know, because otherwise it's staying exactly how it is. Next is our grey water tank. It's such a big load. I hate it. I think I hate this the most out of everything because it's something we could fix and could have done a different way and blah blah blah, but instead we've tried to work around it, and somehow it's made me hate it more. So the grey water tank is inside the van. It's under our sink, and for a long time it was just under there, and we'd have to lift it out and drag it across the floor and sometimes carry it to the emptying point. And we're talking about 60 litres of water. That's heavy.
Especially when you're carrying it and it's sloshing around and it sloshes up into your face.
And then you want to just peel your face skin off because you feel so dirty, like you'll never be clean again. Anyway, after that had happened for an entire year we lived with this, and then I was like, okay, you know what, I'm going to try and fix the situation slightly. So I made a little ramp to slide it out easier, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to put it on a platform and add some wheels. So I put it onto a platform and add some wheels, which actually made it higher, which meant I needed to do some new plumbing for under the sink, which was a pain. So now we have a solution whereby we have it on a platform with some wheels and we can roll it out to the edge of the van, but after that it's useless. So once we've rolled it to the side of our van, unless we're emptying it right there, which sometimes we can do, we're then having to carry not only the 60 litres of water, but also a ratchet strapped platform and wheels. Here's the beast.
Hello!
I also added a little clasp here to lock it into place, and somehow over time it's become less easy to unlock and lock. Yeah, I'm just getting to a point now where... Ow. Why isn't it there? Roll. If anyone's thinking, oh, you know what, I might just keep my grey water tank inside the van, it's no big deal, you know, it's just easy to empty, blah, blah, blah. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Just put it under the van. Or if you're going to have a grey water tank inside, have it like 10, 20 litres and empty it like every single day.
We are going to fix that because, as you can see, it's very annoying. We're going to put a underslung grey water tank in very soon. We'll make a video about it, so stay tuned for that one.
Here's one we raged at earlier. This was hatefully ripped from our wall after... No, it wasn't. Basically, we thought we needed this and we really didn't. It's just been in the way of our feet at the end of the bed for the past 2 years. And it took 2 years for us to decide that we could just take it out. We only really use the iPad or a laptop to watch things, and actually we don't really watch things that often anymore. The only time we used or would ever use this screen is if we have our Xbox up and running. We don't play on the Xbox so much anymore because it's a huge power drain. So in the future, I think we're going to avoid having a console unless, well, actually, that's not true. We basically need a better power setup to be using a console in the van. And if we can't be using the console, there's no point for the screen. We don't need the screen because we've got a laptop to watch things on. So yeah, sayonara.
The last one is a love.
And it's perfect for evenings like this where you've got a sunset, it's not actually that cold, and when you want to kind of milk the last bits of the warm weather before it becomes real, true, miserable winter. Our fold-out table.
This thing's so great, like it's like just, you know, really simple. It's just a great little extension of the van.
This is actually made from offcuts of the ceiling. Reuse, repair, recycle.
Well, not really, because you bought those materials specifically for the ceiling.
Yes, but they would have gone to waste if I had not used it for this table.
So when the weather is okay like this, to save our backs a little bit, we will quite often bring the hob onto this little flip out table and cook out here, or just have a brew, which is what we're going to do now.
If you've got any clever solutions for any of the things that we've spoken about, please let us know. Just pop it in the comments.
Actually, something else that I think that would be fun to know is, have you got anything that you've been living with and then you've just suddenly realised it's been like 2 or 3 years and you hate it and you could have changed it and you just let it be?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, let us know.
If you haven't seen our full van tour, check out the video somewhere on screen or maybe in the description. In that video, we show you absolutely everything in this van, so if you haven't seen it, check it out.
See you next time. P.S. If you've seen our last couple of videos, then you may have been expecting a hiking vlog this week. That is coming, it's just that we filmed so much footage, it's taking a lot longer to go through than we expected. So stay tuned. Hiking vlog on Mediterranean Island is coming. See you soon. Bye.